Okay, today we're going to be servicing the Honda, what is it, HS928. It came in, didn't start. I took a quick look at it and I noticed he's had it for quite a few years. He told me 21, and he always got it serviced at the dealer. And when I seen it, I noticed it's hydrostatic oil. It's really dirty, even in the reservoir where most of the dirt would be down in the bottom where the pump is, but it's even dirty up in the reservoir. And so I asked him, I said, have you ever had the hydrostatic fluid change? You get a big bill while you're getting service? And he goes, not that he could remember. So, and I took a quick look. The service on it seemed to be basic. There was nothing done except an oil change and maybe a spark plug every now and then, and white lithium grease sprayed. That doesn't really penetrate. Anyway, so what I asked, I said, okay, what I can do is get it running for you this season, change the oil, put a new spark plug in it, grease it up, maybe clean the carb or try to flush the carb out. We're going to see how that goes. And then after the winter, have them drop it back off and completely rip it down and change every bearing that's bad, bushing that's bad, take the gearbox apart, add the grease nipple that should have been put in years ago to keep the gears lubed, change the hydrostatic fluid, paint, all the touch-ups. If you come over in the front, you can see it's rusted quite a bit on the inside down here and all along the seams down here. So I said I can rip the entire thing completely apart, repaint it, rebuild everything, and it should be good for another 20 years. So he said, not a problem. What we're going to do today is just a simple oil change, get it running, lube it up a bit, and give it back to him. Okay, so we're going to get on that now. So first thing we always do is check the oil. And on this one, it's on this side. Now you got to watch when you have an engine like this. You have a drain here, but that's not the drain you use. You have a dipstick on this side. If we go to the other side, over here, we've got another drain here. This is the one that you would use. And there's another, it's not a dipstick, but it's an oil fill or plug. You gotta make sure they're all tight when you're done. Anyway, so we're gonna go to the dipstick side. We're gonna check the oil, make sure there's enough to start this thing. Because before we do the oil change, we're gonna have to start it and heat it up.
Oh, what happened? Why is the...
Okay, so the oil's here. And on this one here, the oil fill is about halfway up the stick. It's, I don't know if you can see inside here. No, you're not going to be able to see, but it's not to the top of the threads, it's to the top of the inside here. But this one goes to the top of the thread. So anyway, you put it in, take it out, and that's about right. Okay, so we know we have enough oil to start this, and everything's tight. And just before I start, I'm going to go make sure this is tight. We know that's tight. On the other side, 12 millimeters. So I'm just going to make sure they're tight. I don't want to put this outside, let it warm up, and only to find out that it's lost all its oil because one of these were loose. So there should have never been a wrench on it. And it's tight. It's tight. So everything on this is tight. So the next thing we're going to do is, we know we got oil, drain the carburetor, go and check inside the fuel tank. So take the cap off and see what he's got. Okay, so we look in the fuel tank, make sure there's no water, it's clean.
Okay.
If you look, over here is a float. That's a float ball, and it's almost empty. And he's got something looks like it's out of a gas can that fell in there. And it's not too dirty, a few things here and there. And the gas doesn't look that bad, but there's not much in there. So I'm going to take that plastic thing out that's in there.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks like it's off a gas can. I don't know if you've seen any of my videos of how to start a lawnmower, or not a lawnmower, but how to start a snowblower after it's been sitting all summer. Well, it's kind of going back to that. The first thing I always do is drain the fuel out of the carburetor. And in this particular carburetor, you'll see it's got a drain right here. And I'll bring you over and get a closer look at that. That's why I'm leaving the gas cap loose, so I can take a look at how much fuel I got in there. So we'll get set up.
Okay,
So the drain's right here. I don't know if I can turn that by hand or not. Yeah, I can. So I'm gonna drain as much fuel as I can out of it. What I'm doing is just getting the old fuel out of the carburetor. Yeah, you can see how yellow the fuel is, so.
Why? Is that clean?
No, it's old fuel. So he tried to start this almost out of fuel and didn't drain this, and it just wouldn't start for him. If you take a look at all the tracks are out of adjustment. Track adjustment is back here and it's pretty rusted up. It's never been done, or not done for a while. Okay, fuel shutoff's working fine. Back on. Yeah, there's a fuel shut off here. So I'm just checking to make sure it actually shuts the fuel off, which it did. And there's quite a bit of gas out of there. We'll tighten it back up. You can see how yellow the gas is. That's just old gas. And I'll just top it off with Shell. I use Shell 91 because it's the only one around here that has that's non-ethanol. The stuff in my container also has seafoam in it, so it's going to actually clean the carburetor up a bit. So we're going to dump this gas out, put some fresh gas in, and see if she'll start. Shell 91 non-ethanol with seafoam mixed in it. There's $20 of gas. There's $30 of gas. Gas is really high right now around here. I'll give them a half a tank. Okay, so let's see if this starts. Fuel is on. On these, they don't have air cleaners. I'll just show you what's under here. It's just basically for air to come in. Snowblowers, as a rule, don't normally come with air cleaners because snow would get on there, it would melt, and then it would freeze, and then it would stall. And there's not much dust in the snow anyway. And you may want to go over there because the exhaust is right here, so when it fires, it's going to shoot exhaust that way, like I did to you last time. You bring the lever to where it says choke, turn the key, and before I actually turn the key, I disengaged the hydrostatic drive. I'm going to turn it back on, the hydrostatic drive, to move it around. Okay, so we're going to put it outside for about 15 minutes. It's run fine now. It's just bad gas. It's warmed up now. Now we're going to do the oil change. And the dipstick's on the other side. This side is just a plug. And well, you see this little shelf right here is where you would drain the oil from this plug. The other side doesn't have it, so you don't do that side, you do this side. And you would have to jam something in here, something like this, and have it drain and hold it, and try not to make a mess. This is not together yet, everything's loose on it. So I haven't tried it yet. Upcoming video, I'm going to be putting it together and doing an oil change on the Jeep Grand Cherokee diesel. Anyway, because the oil filter is up top, and go down the dipstick, and then we're going to jack it up and make sure it took all the oil out of it, and then we're going to go with that. Anyway, so I'm going to put this away for now. I would normally use something like this to drain the oil, but I'm going to use this, and then we're going to check also, take the plug out, just to make sure we get it all out. There's no dipstick on this side, it's just a plug. I don't know why Honda did it. There's too many holes to lose oil in this machine. We'll just shove this down here. I prefer using something like this, and you got to watch everything on this. It's really hot, so I'm going to use a rag to hold this.
Oh, it means that one is useful for you.
Yeah, I've been using it.
Huh?
I've been using it.
No, you find out the one. Please,
I've done it at lawnmowers, snow blowers. I've been using it.
Really? You know how much that?
Yeah, not that much. I put them on my link. Watch my videos. You'll see. It tells you how much. The link. Yeah, we're going to check, make sure it's all out. So anyway, I'll put a link to this pump in the description. And also the vacuum pump. I'll also add that in there. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to pull this drain to see if we got all the oil out. Put my no oil sticker on it because there's no oil in it yet. Just in case I get pulled away. Phone rings, I have to go somewhere. I don't forget there's no oil in this machine. And we take a look at his oil. It is, yeah, he hasn't changed this in a while. That's at least four, maybe 4 years, if not longer. Yeah, that's a long time. So this thing hasn't been serviced in a while.
What's supposed to do, like every year service?
Once a year. It's cheap. Change your oil.
No, even that they are not using.
If we have weather that's not too bad, we don't get a lot of snow, you can go 2 years. Manufacturer would say every year you should change the oil. But I'd say I've done it myself on mine. I'll go 2 years without an oil change. And worst case scenario, if I don't have time for the full service to go and lube everything, or in the middle of the season, I'll go out and I'll blow my driveway, I come in the garage, and I drop the oil. And I fill it back up again. I don't do any other service. Oil is the most important thing to do. I'm not saying it's best to do the full service, but if you don't have time to do a full service and you have been putting it off, it takes, 10 minutes. Drop the oil and fill it back up again. Okay, I'm just doing this to see if we got all the oil out of it. A lot of people, there we go. A lot of people always say the vacuum pumps don't take everything out. In some engines, they don't. Well, we're going to see if it does it on this one. I could have lifted the whole thing this way, but we'll see what we got. Oh, we didn't get it all. Okay, so it did leave a little bit behind, not much. Let's get that tightened up so it doesn't leak. Okay, that's tightened up. There's a torque spec for that. Check with the manufacturer. Yeah, I use this quite often. It's just on an empty container. It's just the corner I cut out right there. And I've been using that for years. It used to be the same color as this. Now, like I say, it's been a lot of oil's gone through it. Okay, let's get rid of that nuts. I'd say, but that's about a liter of oil. I'm pretty sure this engine takes 1 liter of oil. So, just to verify, I'm going to dump this into a liter or quart, almost the same thing. There's not much in a difference. I read the manual, and the manual did say a liter, but yeah, that's exactly a liter or a quart, whatever you want to call it. Okay. We're on the other side of the machine, and this is where the dipstick is. So we'll take dipstick out, and it should only come up, according to the manual, about halfway up the dipstick, because it doesn't come right up to these threads. It comes up to the threads on the other side, but not this side, and it comes down to just about here. Anyway, it's kind of a weird setup. It does take a liter, and I'll show you after. I'll look on the other side, and it should be the top of the threads, but not top of the threads here. Anyway, I just use this funnel here. It's off a transmission funnel. I just find it easier. This is 5W30 full synthetic. Okay, that's exactly where it was. See, it goes further down, but you put the dipstick in, and it's supposed to be halfway up, and it's halfway up. But it does take 1 liter. 1 liter came out, 1 liter went in. So 1 liter fills it to the top of these threads on this side, and halfway up the dipstick on the other side. So I took the sticker off that's in the oil, and right now the oil's full, gas is full. I'm just gonna go ahead and spray just a few pivot points with PL100, just along here, under there, down along here where this moves for the adjustment. And that locks it in place. Not doing, like say, the full service here. I'm just doing enough to get him going for the rest of the year, and after this winter's over, he'll bring it back and I'll get the full thing. So you don't need to see me spray all the lubrication points down here and up there. And I'm just going to spray the bolts that I'm going to be taking apart. PL100. It's a penetrant and a lubricant, and it stays on the machine for quite a while. It doesn't evaporate like WD-40 and stuff. Okay, I want to get the back side of these bolts because I'm going to have to take that apart. Like the tracks, both tracks are way out of adjustment, but the bolts up here are all seized up, and I just lubed them. Let's penetrate. It's coming back in a couple months anyway, and I'll take it all apart and properly adjust everything. And the last thing we're going to do, oh, you want me to flip it around because you don't want to move the camera. I'll move the big heavy machine around just for you.
Can you move it? Where's the spark plug?
Okay, and you look here, hydrostatic drive fluid is on the full. It's dirty, but it'll be changed shortly. We'll do the plug, and we're also going to check the gear oil in the front. But for now, we'll just do the plug. It's actually running pretty good, but it's been in there for a while. You can see it's wore down a bit. The gap on this is 28 to 31 thou. Okay, I set the gap already. That's what was in there. New plug here. Always stir it by hand. Okay, seat it there. Now the manual said on this, half a turn to 3/4 of a turn, because it's a brand new plug. It's got a crush washer on it, so it's a half a turn to 3/4. That's a half a turn after it seats. And then from there, you just get your torque. You check your manual for the torque. Now, when this came in, the plug was loose in it. So we're torqued in. Okay, new plug's in. Now, last thing we're going to do is just check the gear oil. Okay, it is full.
Full of what?
Gear oil. Okay, this nut's loose. The back shear pin's loose. So I'm just going to tighten that up. Both of them are loose. I'm just going to snug them up, not tight. You don't want them tight. But this one here, take a look on the other side of me. Come through this side. right here. This one's ready to fall off. It's in a bunch of threads missing, so I'm just going to snug that up. 2 different sizes. Let's see what size that is.
Are you gonna tighten that?
I have to.
Give me that.
What? I have to tighten it up or it's going to fall apart. Okay, snugged up. It's not over tight, it's just snugged up. Okay, so that is my quick service on this Honda, what is it? Hydrostatic HS, 9 horsepower, 28 cut. Anyway, like I say, it was quick service, not full, but it's just enough to get them through the winter. Then it's coming in another month and a half, maybe 2, and it's getting completely torn down. All the paint touch-ups, I have to paint quite a bit on it, and I'd say bearings, bushings. Anyway, if you subscribe, chances are you will get a notification when the videos of this complete teardown comes in. Anyway, if you like the video, appreciate a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell. Thanks for watching my channel. Bye for now.